while we're giving everything to our clients, we also need to give everything to ourselves, to have that time, that energy, that time off to be creative and to keep investing in our personal growth and well-being. It's all worth it. Hello, and welcome back to the Art of Value Whispering podcast. I'm your host, Melitta Campbell, business coach and value whisperer, and we are coming towards the end of the Planisode series. I hope you've been finding it valuable so far. And in these next two episodes, I want to focus on how do you start to move towards your goals smoothly. And today in particular, we're going to look at overwhelm. Where did overwhelm come from? How can we prevent it and make sure that we can really make this our best year yet and end the year feeling proud of everything that we've achieved? So if you are joining us in this Planisode, the Planisodes are a series of mini episodes that help break down the planning and goal setting process so you can make 2025 your best year yet and start the year strong. If you haven't already, go to the Dream Clients Club. It's my free community. You'll find it at melittacampbell.com/club. And in there, you will find a worksheet designed to help you go through the Planisodes. And if you haven't done the other ones yet, I would hit pause now, go and complete those ones, and then come back to this. And this is perhaps an episode you might even want to bookmark for yourself and come back to throughout the year, just to remind yourself of some of the strategies that can help you in those moments. And we all have them where we tend to freak out a little bit, have a bit of a wobble, start to feel, what am I doing? I have so much. This just isn't possible. This episode will remind you it is, and there are some simple strategies that you can put into place to manage overwhelm and keep working towards your goals and having that impact that you really want to have for you and your clients. So the first strategy for overcoming overwhelm is really simple. It's just to breathe. Take a moment and breathe. When we become overwhelmed, we can start to go into panic mode. This is your fight or flight mode, and it shuts down your ability to think logically. Nothing quite happens as it should. Everything gets blown out of proportion. And by simply just taking a moment to pause and breathe, that can really calm down your nervous system. And we want to do really deep breaths here. So breathe in for the count of 4, hold your breath for 3, and breathe out for 5. Try that 3 times, and that will really start to calm down your nervous system, and you'll already start to see things in a different light. And feeling more calm and centered in the moment is really important, because sometimes overwhelm comes when we're starting to overthink and we're looking too far ahead. And this is also what happens with fear and doubt. It's future focused. In the moment, we're not overwhelmed. In the moment, we don't feel fear. So coming back to the moment, taking that time to breathe can make all the difference. The second thing that can really help you in managing overwhelm is to have a coach. Now, as a multi-award winning business coach, I am aware that I'm biased on this fact, but in my very first business, I burned out exactly because I was overwhelmed. And I can't tell you the number of times I've thought back to, if I only knew back then, this was 17 odd years ago, that things like business coaches existed, or that business coaches existed and were accessible for me with a small micro business, things could have been really different for me. I look back, and if I was to coach myself back then, I would have created a very different business. I would have had much more control, a better framework, better priorities, and things could have been very different. As I say, that was in the past. I've learned that lesson, but I really feel that having a coach can make all the difference as you come to build and grow your business, but in a way that's going to push you and challenge you, but not overwhelm you. The coach will help you to manage that whole process and pull you back when needed. And on my podcast, I've interviewed close to 200 successful founders and business owners, and a significant proportion of those guests have stated that having a coach was the thing that unlocked their success. So do consider having a coach. I have put together a guide, it's in the Dream Clients Club, of questions to ask yourself and to ask of a future business coach if that's what you're considering, because you want to make sure that it's the right coach for you, that you're going to have a great relationship, and that they are going to enable your business. But the questions I've collated there will help you find the right coach for you. And if that's something you're looking into, I would love to have a conversation with you. My signature program is currently 50% off until the 6th of January. So if you are listening to this podcast before then, drop me an email to lock in that discount and we can discuss if my signature program, the Value of Spring Blueprint, could be the right program for you in 2025. The third thing to try is building habits around your core activities. I liken this to thinking like a trucker. You know, a trucker doesn't get in his truck and think, what am I doing today? They know, they get out their map, they have the plan, and they just go from A to B. They know exactly what it takes. So building a game plan, a simple habit structure that means you get your priorities done first, those activities that are the non-negotiables, the ones that make your business work, getting those done and building a habit around those will make it so much easier just to get them out the way, leaving you more space to be creative, for having conversations with people, for working with your clients and all these other things. But getting those non-negotiables done first is key. Building a habit around that will make that easier. Then you can be confident that your priorities are getting done, the needle movers in your business are happening, and you don't need to worry about much else then in your business. The next one is a phrase that I've picked up maybe 2 or 3 years ago now, and it's helped me massively. And every time I feel that, oh my gosh, I'm getting a bit overwhelmed, I'm overthinking, things are feeling a bit out of control, I take a breath and I ask myself, how could this be simpler? And often after asking that question, I will go for a walk. I'll take some time out and my brain will process that in the background. And when I come back to my desk, very often a solution presents itself. Well, you don't need to do all of these 50 things. You could just do this. And so often there is always a simpler way. You can also, if you aren't seeing that simpler way, turn to your coach if you have one, turn to your accountability partner or your business bestie, someone else to help you reflect on what's happening and help you find that simpler way forward. There is always a simpler way forward. That's something that my design background taught me. There is always another way of doing everything. And this is our opportunity to get creative as well and find a way to achieve your objectives, but in a way that doesn't overwhelm you, that feels very simple, doable, and you can get started straight away. My next suggestion for you is to adopt progress over perfection. Overwhelm can come from when we're overthinking, making things too complicated, but also when we're trying to be too perfect. And life has taught me that aiming for B minus rather than A plus plus is already more than good enough. Our standards are high. We want to achieve amazing things. But when we aim for progress rather than perfection, we can really have so much more impact because one, perfection doesn't really exist. And if we're honest, it's just a form of procrastination. It's holding us back rather than pushing us forward and getting our content out there, our knowledge out there, so that our clients and community can already start to be learning and benefiting from our experiences, our expertise, and having better outcomes in their life. So in being perfect, you could really see it as being a bit selfish. So don't hold back. Stop being perfect. Aim for B minus. It is more than good enough. I promise you. And you can always break things down as well. So often my clients, they're launching a product or a service or a webinar or something for the first time and trying to do all singing, all dancing product launch for that offer is overwhelming. There is so much to do. So I encourage them to do a light launch, do the minimum needed so that they can learn what that process is and they will see for themselves how they can, the next time, take that up to the next level, how they can fill in some of those gaps, because the next time they'll have more time because you're already replicating what you did before and you're building on that. So always Look for the simplest way to get started, and you can always build on that in the future. Another tool that kind of backs into that idea is the Olympic method of categorizing your to-do list. So what I mean by this is you have 3 levels of task on your to-do list. You have the gold level tasks, silver level tasks, and your bronze level task. Now, for most of us, we are approaching everything as a gold level task until we take a step back and challenge ourselves. Well, what level is this really? So gold level task is something like a TED Talk where you really need to put the time and effort in to make that as good as it can be. A silver level task may be a webinar where you want to make that pretty good, but if you fluff your lines, if you forget what you're saying, it's not the end of the world. And a bronze level task may be perhaps a Facebook story or a live video where you just need to go in and share one short tip. And again, if you fluff your lines a little bit, it's not the end of the world. It shows that you're human. So you don't need to prepare as much for a bronze level task, that live video. Maybe you just want to put 3 points down on a post-it note. The gold one, you're going to put months of work into that. So go through your to-do list, categorize everything, gold, silver, or bronze. I think you'll probably find that at least 80% of the tasks on your list are bronze level. So they don't warrant perfect. They just need to be done to a decent standard, but putting too much time and effort is just going to be wasted time and effort. So try out that strategy and let me know how you get on. It was a game changer for me. So another thing to do in those moments of overwhelm is take a breath, but review your goal. What is it that you're really trying to achieve? And that can help with all of the above. It can help you to look at what was really important. Is this a gold, silver, bronze level task? It can remind you of how things could be simpler. It can remind you not to be too perfect. So take a moment to remind you, what is the outcome here? And how does that fit into your overall year plan? And that can already help to shine some light on the other strategies that we've spoken about. And the final thing I really want to encourage is that over the years of coaching clients, speaking with guests on the podcast, and my own personal experience, I have seen a clear link between success and self-care. Because self-care, self-love, self-respect, it tells you that you are worth it. You are worth investing in. You are worth taking time for your own well-being and sanity. You can put boundaries in place and respect those boundaries. You can put your priorities first, giving you more time to use your expertise to help others later. So the ultimate way to stop overwhelm or to help manage it, we always have these moments of overwhelm. I think that's just natural when you're an entrepreneur, you have big ideas, you want to make things happen. But in making sure that in every day, in some small way, every week, we have some clear time carved out for our self-care, then we are going to be reinforcing that our priorities are worth it. Our boundaries are worth keeping. That while we're giving everything to our clients, we also need to give everything to ourselves, to have that time, that energy, that time off to be creative and to keep investing in our personal growth and well-being. It's all worth it. So my final strategy is to invest in your own self-care and to make sure it's scheduled, to have clear goals for your self-care. Don't just think, oh, I'm going to be nice to myself. What are the goals for that? Really set that in stone to make sure that happens. Treat it the same as any other business strategy. So I would love to hear which of these are resonating with you, what you've tried in the past, how have you managed overwhelm? Do you have something else that has worked for you? Come and share your experiences and ideas and your aha moments in the Dream Clients Club. You'll find us at melittacampbell.com/club. Meantime, there is one more Planisode left for you tomorrow. I look forward to seeing you then. And a quick reminder that if you are looking for support next year, my Value Whispering program, my signature program, is 50% off until the 6th of January. If that could be supporting you, drop me an email or go to my website, click on the business coaching button, and you'll find all the details there and you can apply for a call. with me if you have booked that call before the 6th of January, but I'm actually taking time off then, but you have the call after the 6th of January, you will still lock in that discount. So do feel free to book ahead, but maybe make a note that you've booked it before the 6th of January to lock in that discount. And I'll take you through the whole Value Whispering Blueprint. Me, you, and a small group of other motivated business owners go on this amazing journey of the next 12 months to make sure that you are implementing your plans with confidence, that you're growing into your best self, that you are really understanding your value, your niche, your messaging, and weaving that through in a meaningful way into your marketing, your sales, your communications, your processes, and that you're also working on your self-care, your habits, behaviors, and your mindset, so you have everything you need to create the life and business and impact of your dreams. So check that out. And meantime, I look forward to seeing you in the next episode. Bye.